Hello there, assassins, and welcome to part 2 of my video where I answer all your questions about Assassin's Creed Shadows. Agioka111, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, is asking, how is the balancing so far? No one-shot attacks from enemies who have 5 more levels than you. Oh, I definitely hope not. From what we've seen, of course, we played this demo version when I don't think we started with level 0. I'm very bad at noticing these things, to be honest, but I did notice my first boss was level 25 and I was like level 9 or something. And I done pretty well, apart from the fact that I kept lying on the ground and crouching instead of dodging. But no, I have not encountered anyone who could defeat me in one blow just yet. The next question is from Story of Gamer. They're asking, are the missions the same Ubisoft boring formula or different? Now, I cannot really answer it just yet because the missions that we played were either main story missions or very interesting side quests. I do expect some of the fetch quests and such to be included in the main game when it's released, but the main thing is for these quests not to be as repetitive as in other games. Now, Z Ultra is asking, how are missions carried out in Assassin's Creed Shadows? Is it like Mirage or Valhalla/Origins? To tell you the truth, it reminded me a lot of Odyssey, how the quests were there. So you go, you talk to someone, and they start telling you all the backstory about the quest you're about to start on, and then you just go, you complete the quest. There is a clear quest objective on your compass, so you can't get lost, and it's pretty much straightforward. What I really loved about it is that it's not like one of those Valhalla mysteries when you go, you talk to someone, they give you a quest, and then there is no marker, and you don't know where to go and what to do, to be honest. Kenway of Nassau is asking, the combat system, will it be better than Mirage or do you need to focus more on stealth? I think it will be a lot better than Mirage or anything else we've had before, because now you have a choice. You either play as Naue and focus more on stealth, or you play as Yasuke and you can just barge in into any door, anywhere, and basically unalive everybody in your sight. So it all depends on you entirely, on your own playstyle, what you want to do in your game. Roman is asking, on which system are you playing and how is the map working? He's excited to see if we really have to find out for ourselves where missions and side quests are. So I'm going to be playing on my PS5. I pre-ordered the game for it, but this time around we got to play on our laptops. Now about the map, it works pretty much like it did in earlier games, in Odyssey and Valhalla, but this time around you have the option of sending your scouts through the map as well, so that they can scout the area that you can place a marker in the general vicinity of, and they can pinpoint where exactly you need to go, so you don't need to be running around discovering things for yourself. Reynaldo is asking again, how does the canon mode work in the game? Do the dialogue options show up and they just highlight the canon choice, or do they not show up at all and the conversations transition seamlessly between what would be dialogue choices? Now, I cannot really answer this question because I didn't choose canon mode this time around, and I don't think I ever will, because I really enjoy having a choice, and I did enjoy that in Odyssey, and I was sad when this did not repeat itself in Valhalla, and I do like that my choices lead to a certain outcome. And another question from Kenway of Nassau. How does Assassin's Creed Shadows compare to previous entries in the series in terms of gameplay mechanics? It's most like Odyssey in my mind, but it does have a lot from Syndicate as well, and a lot from other games too, but it did have this feeling of Odyssey when you're just exploring, and the architecture, although it's not at all similar to Greece, but still it had the feel of Odyssey, of how beautiful it was, and how much color there was everywhere in the streets, and the people were all unique, and it was fun. It was really, really fun to play. The gameplay itself, it was smooth, it was nearly flawless, but at some point I did experience lag, but it was just because I was connected remotely and wasn't playing from my own system, unfortunately. And during this lag, yes, it did get bad at some point when I was putting inputs on my controller and I could see those inputs like 3 seconds later, which wasn't great, but my connection is not the best. I'm in the middle of London and the connection here is absolutely awful. So that was because of that and not because of the game itself. The game itself, whatever else I've played, it was absolutely brilliant. Whenever you press a button, the action happens immediately and you can do whatever you want. And it's so much fun. It really is. Now a few more questions from Rinaldo. I really like your questions, mate. Thanks for those. So here it goes. Are the shinobi you recruit similar to earlier games with assassins you could recruit and call upon, or are they more limited? Are they separate from the Brotherhood? For example, Naui is the middlewoman, but or are they full of assassins? I'm assuming that's a spoiler. I don't think it's a spoiler because we don't really know much about shinobi recruits at all. All we know is that we can use our map to send them to scout around, but other than that I'm not quite sure what they're going to be like. I'm hoping it will be more like a brotherhood and we can call them like call to arms in Odyssey. I don't know if it's going to be a certain ability or it's going to be integrated in the main game, like you give a signal and they come. We'll see. Another question, is there any feature from the last few games that didn't make the cut that you felt was sorely missed? And any feature that you were hoping wouldn't return but has? This is very, very interesting question. So the first part to answer, the feature that I sorely missed in especially Valhalla was the full control of my camera movement, because I get dizzy pretty easily, and when I used to play Origins or Valhalla, the camera, it turns on its own and it's so super annoying and I get dizzy instantly. So basically what happens, if you sprint and then you suddenly come to a stop, the camera continues to move forward, which makes me dizzy. Then if, for instance, you are riding on your horse and you want to look up or you want to look down or you want to look left or right and you want the camera to stay, if you're trying to find, for instance, a meteor falling down and you know approximately where it's going to fall and you're turning your camera sideways to see whether or not it's falling down, and the camera just, if you don't put any more input, it will turn back towards the front on its own, and that is making me super dizzy super quickly. So Valhalla, Origins, I did not enjoy those two games for this simple reason, is that it was making me really dizzy and I couldn't play for more than 1 hour at a time, which was super bad. Now in Odyssey I didn't have this problem. I could play this game for 12 hours straight with almost no stopping, and it never made me dizzy even in the slightest, because I had full control of the camera movement. If I wanted to be on the left side, it would stay on the left side, or if I wanted to face a little bit more down as I'm riding, because I like that to look that way, and it would stay there and it wouldn't make me dizzy. That was amazing, and I did ask the devs to please give me full control of the camera for this very reason, and they did, and I am so thankful to them, and I'm so grateful, because I was waiting for this game for a very long time, and this is the one game that I was really looking forward, because I enjoy every single game that Ubisoft Quebec produces and makes, and this, especially Japan setting, it's going to be awesome, and I did want to enjoy it for hours and hours on end, especially if I'm on my holiday or if I have a day off and I have time to play. That would be great. And I'm so happy they included this option of full control of the camera movement for me. And for many players also, because I can't be the only one who gets dizzy when the camera moves on its own without your own input. Now, about the stuff that I wanted not to return, but it has, that would be definitely the horse riding, the speed limit within the towns and villages, which I absolutely detest. I really don't see any point in this, because in real life, if you want to take off at full sprint, you will, wherever you are. You are not going to have speed limit when you're on a horse. It's not like there's police anywhere. Oh, and one more thing that I found extremely annoying in Valhalla was that R1 button on my controller, which is the right shoulder button. It was for both assassination and light attack. And in Valhalla, there was a lovely bug that I encountered along with other players as well, that when you go in stealthy and you creep to a guy from behind and there is a prompt to assassinate, you press the R1 button to assassinate, and instead of assassinating, your Eivor just goes full on attack. And it kept happening again and again, so it wasn't just that I mistimed it, and I do have a couple of videos to prove it, but it was always an issue. And I'm hoping that in Shadows it's not going to be as much of an issue as it was in Valhalla. I'm hoping that it's going to be different, but to be on the safe side, and I did say it in my feedback as well, that it would make more sense to assign a different button to assassinate and different button to light attack. So in Odyssey you never had such problem at all, because the triangle button was for assassination. That's the top button in the cluster of 4 on the right hand side. If somebody's using Xbox controller, I think it's Y, I believe, or A or something. But it was a different button, so it was no way in hell that you would go to assassinate someone and you would do a light attack instead. So let's see how it goes. And the next question is from the Seal. They're asking, is it possible to do this when not in combat? And there is a gif of Altair sheathing and unsheathing his hidden blade. Well, I definitely hope so, but because I played as Yasuke, I didn't get a chance to play with my hidden blade too much. But I did complete one mission as Naue, and I never thought to check, to be honest. So I'm hoping that it's going to be so in this case. There was actually a very extensive list of suggestions that I published on my group on Facebook that's called Assassin's Creed Unlimited. Please come and check. And many of those suggestions did make it into the game already, from what I could see. And one of the suggestions was about the hidden blade itself. We wanted to be able to use the hidden blade as a weapon in combat, like we could in the Ezio trilogy, for example. That would be so much fun, and we wanted that option to be in this game as well. So let's see if they implemented that or not, but I do hope that they did. The next question is from Johnny B. Good. How heavy is the assassin presence? Is there an actual brotherhood, or is the Shinobi League not affiliated at all? The fact is, we don't know yet, but I expect it to be affiliated with the assassins. And I do expect a heavy presence of assassins and Templars in the game as well. Next question is from Philly. Are the scouts they're talking about similar to the assassins you recruit in Brotherhood? Are there objectives to get scouts, or do you get them as you go through the story? At this point in time, we still don't know much about the scouts, if they are like a side objective or they are purely story related. We only played the demo version of the game, which included only a few quests, and we already had scouts available to scout for us, so we didn't actually have to go out there and get them ourselves. So, my assassin brothers, I still have a good few questions to answer, which I will do in my next video. Stay tuned, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.